So we're here at Open Sauce where a whole bunch of nerds show off all of their cool projects, and I have this thing here and this chessboard here. If you don't know what this is all about, there was a huge cheating scandal in chess about a year ago where a relatively low-ranked player beat Magnus Carlsen, the best chess player in the world, by a long run, and this was one of the top theories on how he did it, and I think these guys just built the actual thing. So who are we here with today?
I'm Brigham.
Brigham, and tell us a little bit about what this whole thing is and why you built it.
So basically, we heard about this whole cheating scandal, and we were thinking, obviously this is a joke that people theorize to use as a butt plug, but for shits and giggles, what if you actually did? So we decided to make that device, and we saw a few other videos of people trying to make something similar, and they made these sort of abhorrent, massive devices that no one would ever actually use. And so we wanted to make something that is actually a proof of concept of how this could work. And we found out that there's an open source device you can buy online called the Lovin's Hush. And actually there's a whole fleet of devices by different companies that use this buttplug.io framework.
That already exists.
Yeah, and so it's an open source framework that we can interface with using Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. And what we can do with that is basically send moves as vibrations so that somebody can use a chess computer to learn the best moves of the position and win any game. So we use the best chess engine in the world. That's Stockfish 16 Plus. So if you look here, I can turn on the engine.
Cool.
And that'll show me the evaluation, and it can play the top engine moves. So these are all the best moves, and it's better than any human or any other computer.
Nice.
And if I want to connect up to the device, all I have to do is search via Bluetooth, and there it is, the device pops up, and I can pair with it. Now it pops up over here, and if I want to send the most recent move, all I do is click send. And so now this device will vibrate when I click send, and I can put it down so you can see. We get long and short vibrations as binary, so it's zeros and ones. So each short vibration is a 0, and each long vibration is a 1.
Crazy. So that's obviously how you receive the moves and know what to play. How do you get board state? So are you having to clench to input it back in? Or
So
how does the engine know what the board state is?
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways this could work. Basically, the way we have it right now is the simplest version where somebody would need to be watching the game either in person or from afar and inputting the opponent's moves into the board so that the computer can know what to do and can have the current board state always up to date. We have binary zeros and ones, and so basically each set of 3 corresponds to a row or a column, and then that gives you a square, and 2 squares is a move. So you have a start square and an end square.
So cool. And this is obviously has joking undertones, but this is actually a really cool problem to try to solve. What was the biggest engineering problem you ran into that almost made you want to quit this thing, whether hardware or software?
Yeah, so there's a few issues. The hardware is generally pretty good. These products are pretty well made, and we didn't have to build them ourselves. And I'd say the hardest thing was probably implementing the actual connection to the device itself.
Right. And I guess you don't need like a parent device or anything because the laptop's connecting directly via Bluetooth.
Exactly.
Right? So cool.
There's a few caveats there. Is that initially what we had is there's a separate app that you have to download and turn on and run a server to connect to it, and then that connects to your browser. I wasn't happy with that because I think that's too much of a barrier to entry to really prove that this is possible. So what I was able to do is run the server in the browser locally, the same thing that that app's doing, and basically combine that all into one, so it's super simple. And that took a lot of work. That was probably the hardest part. Also, there's some issues with when you send vibrations. It's basically an asynchronous method call that you're using, like an HTTP request.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you send them too quickly in sequence, they can override each other and cause all sort of like sync errors. So there's some tweaking to get that to work in terms of the timing. Yeah, and then also implementing the chess engine. Like I said, I wanted it to be all in one so that you could have the engine and everything that you need to make the moves in the same browser.
So cool, man. Honestly, all jokes aside, insanely cool project. For anybody who wants to learn more about this and process of you building it, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, so we're both students at UC Berkeley. The project is live on AskChess.com. AskChess.com.
Amazing.
And you can use that. You can buy these devices and go cheat to your heart's content. We don't condone it, but go for it.
You hear it here, folks. AskChess.com.